Yo, what's up guys? It's Big Time Steeler here, but you can call me Steeler, back again today with the first episode of the Crucible Subclass Setup series. Today we are starting with the Bladedancer for episode number 1. So, let's get into it. So, Bladedancer, we're setting up with this. We're going from right to left, kind of weird order, but we're doing it anyway. So, first of all, we got I put Hungering Blade. I got Way of the Fearless on, which focuses on toughness. I got Quick Draw. Gotta have that when you're sniping. Very useful. I also run it with the last word. It is very good. And then I have Toughness and Battle Recovery, since hunters have no armor whatsoever. And then I got Blink Strike, obviously. I got Fast Twitch on. Explain that later. I got Vanish. Explain that later. Better Control. Don't really care for Blink anymore because of the June update. Took away all that recovery. Skip Grenade. I'll explain that as well. So, going back to where I explained. Skip Grenade. It's very good because of the fact that you can bounce these things off walls, hit enemies, and they're about a 2-shot with the last word. I mean, what's not good about that? It's very good in trials, especially if I run the Lucky Raspberry with it, so you always spawn with one of these. They're very useful. But if you run the Lucky Raspberry, like me, myself, you can also run Arc Bolt Grenades, as it gets much more range on those Arc Bolt Grenades. And then we have Flux Grenades, which are great because they're like Fusion Grenades, one hit if attached to an enemy, but if they're not attached, they still do quite a bit of damage, unlike Fusion Grenades. So, Vanish, I run Vanish because in the June update, when you pop your Bladedancer, you automatically turn invisible, which I find useful because I usually pop my Bladedancer in the air, so they won't know you're coming, which is very useful, as I don't really care for Razor's Edge or Showstopper, but that depends on what you're running, as Showstopper is obviously the circle thing, and then Razor's Edge is like the Striker wave of energy. Now, Fast Switch is good because you get your melee or Blink Strike more often, which is very great. Escape Artist is something I use in PvE, which I'll explain in the PvE subclass series whenever that comes out in the future. Backstab, I don't like this because the odds of you hitting an enemy from the back is pretty not that good unless you turn invisible when you're using Stalker, and you also have Shadowjack on, which, I mean, that's all your personal preference. Quick Draw, I use Quick Draw over Shadowjack because, I mean, I don't use Invisible that much. Unless I'm running Trials, I'll probably use Stalker instead, and then when I get my Bladedancer, I'll probably change to Hungering Blade because Hungering Blade helps so much, as you're usually low by the time you finally slash somebody using your Arc Blade Super. So, Quick Draw, Shadowjack. If you run Stalker, obviously you're going to run that. Fleet-footed, if you run a shotgun, I guess you might like this, as you get more agility and you have a bigger slide distance to slide and shotgun them to their death. And then Encore. Encore is very good because you basically have an unlimited Arc Blade, but this is more of a PvE perk because how many times are you just going to kill an enemy time and time again without losing your Arc Blade? So, and then I like to use Better Control because you can shoot in the air rather than Blink where you cannot. So, there you go. And now moving on to the armor changes in the subclass, as we have the Massacre Third Man, which there's been a test done where this does not do anything to your Bladedancer Super, so do not use this weapon, or helmet, sorry. ATR's Tarantella is very good because your Arc Grenades charge a lot much faster, and your Arc Blade Super charges a lot quicker. Lucky Raspberry is something I use quite a bit because you always have Grenade Energy in the Trials of Osiris when you spawn before every round, and if you run Arc Bolt Grenades, they spawn a lot further away. Then we have Kepi Sting, so instead of using Stalker, you can run Hungering Blade in this, so you can still crouch, turn invisible, and it does 4 times more damage on Backstab. So, Backstab and this is pretty much almost a one-hit. I'm pretty sure. You guys can test that out. Let me know in the comments section below. And, I mean, there you go. You can run Hungry Blade and still crouch and turn invisible and shotgun those people. Bones Veil, if you want triple jump with better control, you can go way farther with those. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this first video of this series, as I'll leave you off with my subclass. So, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit this like button. Next one will be Gunslingers, Twitter and Twitch, links in the description box below as always. And I hope all of you have a great day.